You're listening to The Pete Sheppard Show.
It's good to be back.
And now Tennessee with a very small team in the game. Milicic is the 5-man.
Full court pressure by the Volunteers. Sharp up ahead. Roberts, the trailer. Sharp finishes. Seventh heaven for Houston. The Cougars advance to their 7th Final Four and hoping this trip brings them their first title.
Yeah, Rick Barnes, you did it to me again. You did it to me again. It just took a little longer. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Pete Sheppard Show here on this Monday, the last day of March already. Can you believe it? March 31st on a Monday morning. Lots to get into today. The March Madness Final Four is set. The Frozen Four is set in college hockey. We've got all sorts of issues going on with torpedo bats, and the Yankees are coming off Comcast at midnight. And a whole lot more. Lots of great video and audio for you this morning. Welcome, Charlie. Thanks for checking us out across the Coastal Sports Network video platform. Following me on Twitter at PShep and Twitter X at PShep326, whatever you choose to call it. On our Facebook page is the Coastal Sports Network Facebook page, my Facebook page, YouTube, Rumble, Kick, CSN Florida, LinkedIn, and always call or text the show 727-858-6650. Oh, I forgot to add in the useless pustule that is our second hitter, meaning the Boston Red Sox and Rafael Devers. He stinks, and I'm being kind. Stinks. Anyway, thanks for checking us out. Of course, the great sports radio app, SR1029 The Game, SR1029 The Game.com. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Beautiful day here in Fort Myers already, up to 69 degrees, mid-80s today. Going to be a beautiful day. Nice weekend. Finally, we got some rain down here on Saturday. A good monsoon for a good hour and a half or so. I think I was at my favorite place in the world on watching the Florida Gators advance to the Final Four at the world's greatest cigar bar at Gulf Coast Center in Fort Myers. Wonderful time. Thanks to the lovely Eileen, as always, from Cape Cod, who's been down here forever. Always good, taking care of everybody. Nice time. But Angel got some rain up his way. Not only Saturday, got rained on Sunday. We didn't get it down here in Fort Myers, but I thought we were going to, but we didn't. Got cloudy a little bit, but you guys got it up there. Anyway, the women's Final Four is set as well. Exciting time this week for Angel because he's going to be, we might as well camp out at Amalie Arena because that's where you're going to be for most of this week. We say good morning to Angel Martinez. See, Angel, if you just went chalk in your bracket, you'd have all 4 number ones. First time since 2000. There's a fly in here. That happened. You bastard.
I decided to come to the cracks.
Anyway, so the men's Final Four is set. I'm proud to say I got 3 of the Final Four in. No big deal. Rick Barnes, I had Houston losing, getting upset by Gonzaga in the second round, and that's. But Rick Barnes again. I guess it's same old. Always a bridesmaid, never the bride. Gets close at times when he's not getting knocked out in the first or second round. But it's only a matter of time because it was another Mason convention. We've seen a few of them this year. I think they had, 14 or 15 points at halftime, Tennessee did. You cannot beat Houston putting up 14 points at halftime. Just absolutely ridiculous. It was only a matter of time. They made a little run. They cut it to 6. But in the end, Tennessee, I had actually going to put an orange shirt on today until I realized, no, I'm not wearing Vols colors at all. We will hear, though, from Josh Prey, the comedian from down here that loves the Florida Gators. We have not heard from him in a while. He goes on an epic Gators excited rant, Angel. But how are you this morning? And you got to be excited covering the women's Final Four this week up yonder, up Tampa.
Yep, it's going to be a good week for sure. Yeah, and you're absolutely right, Pete. I think I'm going to be camped out at Amalie Arena basically starting tomorrow through the weekend as the rate the things are happening. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to cover the women's Final Four. There's a meeting Thursday morning. Then there's also open practice coming up here over the weekend, and then obviously. Or not over the weekend, from Thursday into Friday. Friday night, the 2 games, 7 to 9 p.m. And then, of course, the finals on Sunday night. So it's gonna be a really good time. It's gonna be just friggin' nuts. If my world hasn't gone crazy already, it's going to get even more crazy at the end of this week. But yeah, it's always good to be able to cover it, especially when it's locally here at the Amalie Arena. So it's going to be a good time. I think South Carolina would be the defending champs, still in there, and we'll see if they'll make it to the finals. But it's going to be a good matchup, regardless out of these Final Four women matchup. It's going to be a good final on Sunday.
Yeah, UCLA, South Carolina, obviously UConn, which has got to be the favorite right now with Beckers. Obviously, she had 40 the other night, so I'll be rooting for the Big East. I'm rooting for them, but it should be a lot of fun. Women's Final Four is always very, very exciting. Brian says, we know the Rick Barnes story too well, Pete, from the days of Providence. Well, yeah, I say that all the time, Brian. It's not just Providence. It's Providence, Clemson, Texas, and now Tennessee. You remember, Brian, they had 3 or 4 number 1 picks back in 90 or 91. Remember that? The Eric Murdoch teams and Smith, they had 4 number 1s, and they were 8th seed, which was unfortunate because they won the Big East tournament. They didn't win the regular season, but they won the tournament. They were a really good team. They ended up getting an 8th seed. They got screwed by the committee. They ended up playing Alabama in an 8-9 matchup. But nevertheless, they still should have won that game, and he choked away that one too. So, yeah. Yes, there are many schools that know about Rick Barnes. And it's just, he's a great man, wonderful guy, excellent coach. Just cannot get his team to the Final Four. Anyway, I feel for you Vols fans out there. So the Final Four is set. All chalk for the first time since 2008. Not really surprised. Do I care? No. I think it's going to be some outstanding basketball. And the fact that I have Florida and Duke in the final pleases me. So I still got, I think I had 6 of my Elite 8 teams, and I'm still in the top 89% on the ESPN poll. I'm sure a lot of people are. Well, 11% of you are not. But I'm in the top 89%. So we'll see. What do I win? Nothing. A bag of donuts. What am I going to win? I'm not going to. It's not going to happen. I'm sure there's a lot of people that have all 4 in, and then a lot of people have Duke beating Florida. A lot of people have Florida beating Duke. I'm sure somebody out there has Auburn or Houston winning the whole thing. The men's Frozen Four is also set now, and that will not take place for 10 days on April 10th. So we'll have Denver versus Western Michigan. Denver beat Boston College last night, 3-1. The Denver Pioneers, they are an amazing college hockey program. They really, my buddy Michelangelo put it very succinctly, they're the one team in this tournament that plays like an NHL team. They are tough. They whip Providence. Providence's own goalie basically put the puck in his net on Friday afternoon in the first few minutes of the game, gave Denver 1-0 lead. They never looked back. They beat Providence, played like crap. Still a good season to make it to the tournament, lost 5-1. But yesterday was Denver over BC 3-1. One controversial highlight in that one, which we will play for you. There's a lot of cussing in it, so beware, and rightly so. Penn State in overtime over UConn 3-2. Really one of the bigger upsets of the tournament. UConn has been playing really well, but so a Big Ten school gets in, a Big East school gets in Boston University because they beat Cornell. And then Western Michigan topped UMass as well, 2-1. So the Final Four, Denver versus Western Michigan. That'll be Thursday, April 10th at 5 o'clock in St. Louis on ESPN2. And then followed that by Penn State versus Boston University, also on Thursday, 4:10, 8:20. I don't know how much baseball you got to watch this weekend, Angel. Your Phillies had a tough one yesterday, but overall, at least you don't have a guy on your team that strikes out. When you start having supposedly one of the better hitters in the league, not just on your team, and you have the announcers praising when he makes contact, there's a fucking problem. It's huge. And this knucklehead, Rafael Devers, who didn't want to play during spring training, and everybody down here, all my people that I had down here, Sean McAdam, Lou Maloney, we're all talking about it. You got to find your swing in spring training. That's when you find it. You saw Abreu. Abreu went, 1 for whatever was 20 in spring training. But then, he's done very, very well, because he had his at-bats in spring training. Rafael Devers sat there like a putz and did nothing except hit off a tee or in the cage. He looks like dog poop right now. It's awful. It is awful. And then I love all my friends up in Boston, especially, my friends Tony Maz and Felger up at Sports Hub. Last Thursday, Christian Campbell doesn't look like a major league player. He looks scared. After one game, Tony, you would never have said that on our show way back. I was stunned, quite frankly. I was stunned. He was a rookie in his first game. Well, guess what? Second game hits. First of all, he did get an infield hit. Then he got a couple of hits, including his first home run the next day. And almost made one of the greatest outfield catches I've seen in the last decade. Played left field instead of second base the other day. Made an unbelievable try and had the ball. And when it hit the turf, the ball popped out. Otherwise, it would have been an unbelievable web jet. But nevertheless, there's overreaction, then there's overreaction. The people some of you out there about Christian Campbell after one game was just absolutely ridiculous. And it was a very small minority. But unfortunately, as one of your leading stations in Boston had your afternoon host talking about, he looks scared. I mean, just really, I don't think you believe, Tony, I love you. I don't think you actually believe that. And there's no way in fucking hell you would have said that on our show on WEI back in the day. There's no way. So, I mean, you're grasping for straws for the first game of the season for a rookie. Are you serious? My God. Well, how's that crow tasting today? Not too good, is it? Brian says, Maz is over the top, great guy, but way out there. No, I do know that, but he would never say something like that after one game. Frightening. He doesn't look like a major leaguer. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What have you not been watching this spring training? Maybe you haven't. There's a reason why he made the team, but certainly to shit all over him after one game is absolutely ridiculous. Now, shitting all over Rafael Devers, I will do. This is ridiculous. This guy, for the amount of money he's paid, and it's obviously mentally right now he ain't there, and it's because he's not playing the field. Well, too bad. Some guys can handle it. Some guys can't. You're not going to play the field. If I'm Alex Cora today, they have to. I can't even imagine what that flight was last night after losing 3 out of 4 to Texas, and now they're going to go to Baltimore for their opening day today, this afternoon at 2:30. I'd sit Raffy down. You're out today. You got to find yourself. He obviously cannot handle not playing the field. It has affected him up here. It's not that uncommon at times if you listen to the guys who have played the game. It happens to some guys. Rafael Devers, though, if you had saw him at bat, Angel, every single at bat, his head is looking that way. He's a lefty. He's looking at right field. His head is not on the ball. He's not focused. You got announcers praising him when he makes contact. He set a record for 10 strikeouts in the first 3 games in Major League Baseball history. Nobody had ever done it. Not a record you want to be part of. And he had a few more bat-at-bats. Now, the team itself, and Bregman, I ain't worried about him. He has to follow Devers. He's had a couple of hits. The team as a whole they must lead the league right now in men left on base. And that's on everybody. But Devers came up with the bases loaded the other night, Friday night, struck out. He struck out 3 and 4 times in some of these games already. We're only in week 4. We're only in day 4, game 4. But I want to play this video first, Angel, because I'm just livid. By the way, great show coming up today. We're going to break everything down. We're going to go through the final 4 games. Lots of highlights. Some of you, some lowlights. Big fight last night in the NBA between Detroit and Minnesota. Got a video of that. We'll show you what happened in the BC-Denver game that pissed off a couple of players. And there should have been a 5-minute major assessed to Denver, and it wasn't. And BC would have been on a power play for 5 minutes, but didn't happen. The Yes Network dropping Xfinity. The Xfinity and Comcast dropping the Yes Network as of midnight tonight, unless something drastic happens. I've got the president of the Yes Network on during the Yankee broadcast yesterday, Angel. He just lays it all out so people can understand what is going on. But for all of you Yankee fans out there that have Xfinity and Comcast, you're not getting the Yes Network as of midnight tonight. And this always comes as a surprise, Angel. A lot of people don't they don't understand. Sometimes you don't hear about the negotiations going on behind the scenes. And a lot of times this shit gets resolved last second, but I don't think it's going to here. They want to charge it $20 more. It's crazy. We'll let you hear
Lord.
it. Yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right. Let's see. By the way, I figured out my friends at Total Sports Prep, and it was just the way Yahoo has changed my email. And so now, like the little thing, the little file thing is way up in the left-hand corner. I don't know why this happens. I don't know why people mess with a good thing, for all the technical stuff. But
It's no different than Microsoft. Yeah,
But I
Microsoft
figured
Outlook. It likes to do the same thing. Outlook likes to just 1 minute to the next be like, oh, do you want to go back to the old way? No, you can't. Stick with the new. So yeah, I feel you.
Okay, let's scroll down, Angel. Yesterday on Nesson, Tom Caron, Jim Ed Rice, and Jonathan Papelbon, who is a very colorful guy. I love him. And it's maybe Rafi is out of shape. Yeah, you see that under awful. Let's play what happened yesterday on Nesson. Post-game show as the Red Sox lost again, 3-2. You see it, Angel? It's two. It's right under. It's 2 down.
2 down.
Right under the show.
Hang on. Rafael Devers out of shape.
Yep.
Dun-dun. Right. Oh, hey, wait a minute. Stop being silly.
You silly goose, you.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Where the hell did it go? All right.
Tom Caron, Jim Rice, Jonathan Papelbon assessing Rafael Devers.
Hey, why'd you disappear on me? Knock it off, will you?
You can drive for some runs.
Rafael Devers today making contact, a step in the right direction. Still struck out a couple times, though.
Yeah, and you know what? To me, I think that both of them have kind of the same issue going on right now. Their foot, the front foot is getting down late. Their front foot is not getting down early. They're not ready to hit. They're behind the fastballs, and they're swinging at breaking balls that are in the zone. But to me, I don't know. The miles per hour on their swing speeds are down as well. Mm-hmm. So, TC, you mentioned this earlier. Did they come in out of shape?
Listen, with Rafael Devers, they talked about it during the broadcast. We talked about it a lot. He didn't start playing until late. It was going to be late, and then he pushed it back 2 more weeks.
Okay, so
he said his shoulder he hadn't swung it. So
he's out of shape. Back. Maybe he's out of shape. I don't know about both of them, but game shape, playing shape, but. Maybe we got to trim a little bit of fat, Jim. You know what happens when you trim fat?
Well, we know they're not hitting shape, right? So they're not hitting. Okay, go ahead. We're talking about trimming fat. What happened?
Pig squeal.
Oh.
Where's this going? No, go ahead.
I'm just saying, like you trim fat, pig squeal. That's what you're looking for your pigs to squeal.
They need some squealing.
Hit home runs.
They need some squealing.
But is it the shoulders? Is it, is he in shape? We don't know these things. But to me, it looks like the swing is just a little bit behind.
Which is why they're beating him with fastballs.
Correct.
Simple as that.
The swing is a little bit behind because you swing too big.
Would you mix up?
Yes. Jim Ed nailed it. The guy's swinging for the fences every single time. Jim Rice, one of the great power hitters of all time, Hall of Famer. Yeah, it's that simple. And Devers looks like poop. Poopy poop. Bad. Awful. Let's scroll underneath again from this, and this is Alex Bregman. Right underneath that one, Angel. Alex Bregman yesterday reflects on the Red Sox and they're losing 3 out of 4 to Texas.
We just didn't pick guys up when we were on the bases, and it starts with me. Obviously, I had a lot of chances this series. Guys did a good job getting on base in front of me, and I got to be better and come through in those spots, and I will be. And I saw a lot of good things overall from this team this series. Obviously, not the results that we were looking for, but have a lot of confidence that we're going to turn it around here rather quickly. I thought we threw the ball pretty well. I thought we played good defense and got on base. I feel like things just weren't fully clicking offensively yet, like I know they will this year. And looking forward to continuing to compete with this group.
When you have a lot of traffic but don't come through in some situational spots, is it easier to say, like, hey, we at least had base runners and chances, and now we got to cash in a little better?
100%. I think guys did a good job getting on base. Obviously, Jaron and Rafi had huge at-bats right there in the 9th inning. and guys did a really good job earlier. I feel like Willie was on base all series. He was great for us all series so far, and I think just simplifying a little bit. I feel like hitting is contagious, so I feel like we're all going to get going here pretty quick, and I'm looking forward to that.
All right, you can stop it there, Angel. You can stop it there, Angel. So, again, a couple of highlights from this one yesterday. In the top of the sixth inning, Willie Abreu, once again, one of the few that's on fire for the Red Sox, ties the game at 1.
Willie Abreu, a couple of walks today, but he has been an on-base machine. Someone socked down the line, a slicer, and that's a fair ball. Bouncing to the corner. There comes the run. Campbell heading home. He'll dive, and he will score. And guess who again? Willie Abreu going oppo to tie this game 1-1.
Yep, but Texas would come back in the bottom of the 6th.
Right back to the plate. That ball hit hard. Out to right field. Back toward the corner. Abreu trying to wave it back, but it's gone. Langford had just enough to go the opposite way, and he ties this game at 2.
Thanks to the Ranger Sports Network there. That should have been caught. I'm telling you, if Duran were playing out there, he would have caught that ball. That should not have gone over the fence. It should have been knocked down or caught, in my opinion. And then the Rangers take the lead in this next batter. Here's Garcia.
Ballpark, and there's some.
Oh, boy. Another blast. High and deep. Left field. Gone! Second deck. They love a little El Bombi here this afternoon.
Yep, that ended up being the game winner, 3-2. The Red Sox had their chances. Rookie Richard Fitz, he pitched very, very well. He only had like 78 pitches after 6 innings. He did really well yesterday. Not his fault. They left a shitload. Here's how bad it is for Rafael Devers yesterday. Once again, 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts and a walk. He went 0 for 16 in the series with 12 Ks. 0 for 16 in the series with 12 freaking strikeouts.
Holy moly.
They also went 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position yesterday and left 10 on base. So it's, hopefully get that out of their system. They take on the Orioles this afternoon at 2:35, and the Orioles are home opener as well. So just unbelievable. Not unbelievable. It's the start of the season, but Rafael Devers sucks right now. He's making history in a very bad way. He's making history in a very bad way. But anyway, any thoughts on that, please let me know. 727-858-6650. I guarantee you that will take up 99% of sports talk radio in Boston today. Will be how bad Devers is. That's what I guarantee it. And you can only say he sucks so much, but you kind of got to move on.
Right.
You kind of got to move on. But I understand it. People are going to be livid. And mentally right now, he doesn't have it. He's swinging for the fences every time. I think that Pat brought up a good stat that was brought up yesterday as well by Lou Merlone. The bat speed is down by 3 miles an hour. Now, that may not seem like a lot, and I don't usually get caught up in those type of statistics, but for him, I think it clearly is something. And the fact that he's swinging for the fences all the time as well. All right, let's see. What other... Elsewhere on Major League Baseball, yesterday, before we get to the NCAA men's basketball tournament, Arizona beat the Cubs by a score of 10-6. Angels over the White Sox by a score of 3-2. Yankees continue to belt the ball out of the park.
Aaron Judge, one man out. Goldschmidt stays put. Driven deep to left field. He's done it again. See ya. A monster 2-run home run. Can't keep him in the park. 2-1 Yanks.
Little shovel work there, huh? You know what? I said in the pregame, you just cannot take this for granted. What you are watching, if you're a Yankee fan tuning in or coming to the ballpark, you're seeing one of the best.
Yeah, and guess what? That made it 2-1 Yankees in the bottom of the first, but he was not done. We head now to where is this? The bottom of the fourth inning.
High fly ball, center field. Mitchell back on the track at the wall. See ya! 3 home runs for Aaron Judge. They've done it again. A record 8 home runs in one game by the Yankees, and it's just the 4th inning.
Kind of leaves you speechless.
Yeah, it seems like we've been through this before. I mean.
Yep, thanks to the Yes Network, Yankees win 12-3, and of course the controversy, which this is going to get Angel a lot more play than I think it deserves because of the bat that Volpe was using. By the way, Aaron Judge hit 3 home runs without using the super bat, allegedly, this torpedo bat. It's a legal bat, so everybody calm down. It's illegal. Everybody's going crazy because Volpe and maybe a couple of the guys in the Yankees are using it, which all it is it's a bigger barrel. It's a legal bat. It's just called a torpedo bat. Now, you could have a bat 10 times that size right now, stick it in Rafael Devers' hands, and he'll still find a way to freaking K. I mean, it's unbelievable. So I know this is going to get a lot of play probably, but this torpedo bat thing, everybody just, calm down.
I practiced this weekend with a toothpick and got the same results. So it doesn't matter. It's just that it all depends on ball contact.
I've watched every inning of the Red Sox so far this year, every single game, every inning. Lou Maloney made a great point, friend of the program. The last at bat that Devers had, he's like, he goes, grab Bregman's other bat, grab somebody's, do something else to change it up. Don't grab your own bat. Go do something. Players do that from time to time. They must, go grab Abreu's bat. He's the only one that's been hitting, getting on base consistently, him and Duran. Go grab Duran's bat. So I thought it was a great point. Of course, he didn't do it, and 1, 2, 3, gone. Ridiculous. The bigger story, though, which I think is interesting to a lot of baseball fans, and particularly our Yankee audience, which I know we have some here on this show, no question about it. And I try to be fair and impartial. If we could scroll down, Angel, before we go to break, I do want to, under awful announcing, Yes Network CEO, it's like 4 or 5 down. Yes Network CEO John Littner joined the Yankees broadcast and explained to everybody why all the crap is going on. And as of midnight tonight, unless something drastic happens, Xfinity/Comcast will no longer carry the Yes Network. Here is Mr. John Littner, the CEO of the Yes Network, to explain.
We started notifying Comcast Xfinity customers that Comcast will drop the Yes Network tomorrow night. That's Monday night at midnight. Now we have in the booth with us John Littner, the president and chief executive officer of the Yes Network. And John's going to speak about the situation. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Michael. Wow, these are great seats. What an exciting start to the Yankee season. It's been quite the home run derby here. I just want to come on and explain to our great fans who watch the Yankees on Comcast Xfinity what Comcast has told us will happen to the Yes Network tomorrow night at midnight. Despite our attempts to negotiate a new carriage agreement with them, Comcast has refused to negotiate. Instead, they have informed us that they will drop the Yes Network from their programming lineup Monday night at midnight. So I just want to take a moment to explain what this is all about. Over the last 20-plus years, Yes has been widely distributed on expanded basic cable by Comcast and by our other distributors in the tri-state region. And that wide distribution has included equal carriage for all the regional sports networks in this market, including SNY and MSG. In fact, in the last 12 to 15 months, we have reached agreements with all of our largest distributors to continue to provide wide distribution for Yes on expanded basic or on a equivalent broadly distributed package, so our great fans, our most loyal fans, can continue to enjoy Yankees baseball on Yes just as they can today. So what is happening right now with Comcast, based on their unwillingness to carry YES in the same package as their own network, SNY, is this. They are demanding that YES move to a more expensive digital package that will cost you, its loyal customers, $20 more per month. At the same time, Comcast continues to give their own networks, including SNY, preferential treatment by keeping them in the less costly package. And this is exactly the bullying tactic Comcast used against MSG networks a few years ago, which resulted in MSG being dropped by Comcast. I guess it's the Comcast playbook to favor their own networks and disadvantage networks they do not own.
All right,
Well,
there you go,
what can
Angel.
fans do, John, before we break?
Well, what I'd like to say is that they should call Comcast and demand that Comcast get to the negotiating table. They have yet to negotiate, or their elected officials, or switch to other distributors who value the Yankees and the YES network. It's as simple as that. We are not going to pull our signal. We have told Comcast that, and so if Comcast elects to drop the YES network from its programming lineup Monday night at midnight, it is precisely because Comcast elected to do so.
And we gave you the number 1-800-XFINITY.
That's good right there. So, but, for me, I get the baseball package. I use Amazon. It's good, and it doesn't matter what you use. I mean, you don't need any. You can just go to MLB.com and get it. I go through Amazon. And, you get the away and home broadcast. The only thing that stinks for me down here in Florida is I can't see the Red Sox, play the Tampa Bay Rays or the Marlins. It's blacked out down here. So, but I know that going in. If it's on national TV, it's a different story. But, and a lot of times I like going, for me, when I'm watching Red Sox games, I like to flip back and forth because I know what the home broadcasters are like. Sometimes I like to hear the other team's perspective. And I do that with the NBA package as well. But that really sucks. $20 more. It is. I can't believe it. That is ridiculous. But like the president, like John Littner said too, they did the same thing with MSG. So you New York fans out there, I feel for it's absolutely ridiculous. I have YouTube TV. There's other alternatives out there except Xfinity and Comcast. Look, I did spots for Xfinity and Comcast back in the day at my old place of employment. And had a special number as well. If anything went wrong, wouldn't have to wait. Nothing usually went wrong. I had personally no problem with it down here, at least in Florida, where it was where I was at Penn International. We had to have it. It was grandfathered in, part of the HOA fees and all that stuff. So you had to have Xfinity. You weren't allowed. I suppose you can get YouTube TV if you wanted to, but you couldn't get any other if you wanted, and you had to get that particular cable system. It's same in a lot of gated communities down here. It's like that, Angel. You are forced, if you're going to go with Xfinity, or what's the other one? The other one down here that's big.
Yeah,
I forget the name of it.
Spectrum.
Spectrum. I won't get that. That's why I chose YouTube TV, which, by the way, also went up. I pay $93 a month now. It used to be $82. Now it's $93. It's up to $93, but it is what it is. I like it. It's very easy to navigate for me. I have no problem with it. So, but unless you have an alternate major cable system, especially in the tri-state area, and maybe you don't. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes these other, you can always get an ad. You can always get YouTube. You can always get, Hulu. All that, you can always get all of that stuff, Hulu TV with the app. But I'm talking about like major cable companies like Comcast and Spectrum and others, Xfinity. There are certain areas of the country you're forced to, you have no choice unless you go the app route. I recommend YouTube TV. That's just me. All right, quick break. When we come back, we'll get into the men's Final Four as well in both basketball and hockey, the Frozen Four. Give you some highlights and some lowlights for some of you out there. All part of the Pete Sheppard Show. Patrick Gilroy is going to join me at 8:30, our NBA Insider, and we'll talk some Celtics. They're looking to close out their road trip at 6-0 tonight. Yet, stupid ESPN continues to talk about the Lakers. I sent a very unflattering message to them last night on social media. Not that they care, but it's just preposterous the amount of time that they spend on a team that's, if they're lucky, will make it out of the first round. But that's okay. Instead of the Celtics, we're about to go 6-0 on a road trip, which nobody does. But I guess if the Lakers had done that, it'd be a different story. But it's the Celtics, so we ignore it. Anyway, All part of the Pete Sheppard Show here. March 31st, it's the last day of March here on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey. Why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you. You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, class. Let's hear what everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Well, I raised my older sister to a big oak tree. It was at least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something. And then we went down by a stream and perched up on this huge rock and saw all of these little minnows swimming around way below us. And then I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him at the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home.
Wow. Awesome. Where were
you, Jill? Yeah. We went to the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Don't spaz out because your team lost. Let Pete do it for you. Now, back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
Green, defense Williams. Clayton to try to tie. Inside Clayton. Well, they stopped Clayton in the paint on the cut. And he just dribbles it out. He dribbles it out, and they were late getting to him. Williams intercepted. The Gators are going to the Final Four.
Wow. The Gators, go Gators, go Gators. I can do that because as a Miami Hurricane fan, we don't hate the Florida Gators. We just hate Florida State. So I don't mind that the Gators are going. The team that I picked anyway, I think they are the best team in the country. I think they are going to beat Duke, and which should be a classic. But they got to get by Auburn first, and Duke will have to get by Houston first. All chalk. But Walter Clayton Jr., that was an impressive, unbelievable come-from-behind win with like 6 minutes to go. They're down by 10. And just steamrolled Texas Tech yesterday, or a couple days ago, by a score of 84-79, Angel, 84-79. And you know who's really happy about that? Our good friend, Josh Prey. If we could scroll down, Angel, and it's down a little bit. Yeah, it's down. You see just Josh Prey, the Gators going to the Final Four. There it is, right there. Josh Prey, our good comedian, originally from Immokalee. You hear him on the show all the time. He is absolutely fantastic. He has some of the best rants, and this one is right up there. He's ecstatic about the Gators headed to San Antonio for the Final Four.
You thought it was a game? Y'all think it be get? I said it's great. 2B. No, it ain't great. It's the only thing 2B is a Florida game. Texas Tech. Texas Tech, a Texaco institutionalized people. Y'all thought it was a game. Oh, they out there. Get a trophy to Duke. Nobody gonna beat Duke. The Gators about to lose to Texas Tech. I said it's great. 2B, a Florida Gator. Ah! Stop playing with us, man. Stop playing. It ain't sweet right here. Bittersweet tea. No bitter tea, no sweetness. No Walter Payton, only Walter Clayton. Ain't nothing sweet around here, man. We tree bark around here. We bite through bricks in the morning. Final Four. It's not 68, 9. It ain't 32. It ain't 16. 8 ain't good enough. We in the Final Four. A whole hand with no thumb. Final Four. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with an extra finger. Final Four. Stop playing with us. 4 corners. All 90-degree angles. San Antonio, Texas. The Gators are Final Four bound. And we... Man, listen. I wasn't worried. I wasn't stressed. Because I know what we do the best. We flex. I said it's great to be a Florida. I need all of Gator Nation. Not some of us, not half of us. If you into gymnastics, if you into the track, if you into the swimming, if you into football, baseball, everybody in unison. It's great to be a Florida Gator. I want to annoy everybody. Go Gators. Go Gators. Go Gators. And the video ain't even repeating. I'm saying go Gators all the time. I'm saying go Gators back to back to back like the water had lead in it. And it's causing me to repeat things. Go Gators, go Gators, go Gators. Man, I'm too excited. I can feel my heartbeat. Boom, boom. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think. I'm kind of emotional. We back. We back.
I don't know if we're faking it. This is real.
We so back. We so back. And then all the Gator fans, all the women and stuff, all the women's above 21, they gonna start posting their Go Gator memes, and they gonna start posting their Go Gator videos, and all of our Gator Nation women are fine. We packed. We so back, man. It feels good to be back. I said it's great to be back.
But man, Walter Clayton Jr., I've got to tell you, first of all, Todd Golden, the head coach, a great job in coaching. 75-66, the Gators trailed. It was under 3 minutes to go. And unbelievable comeback. Couple of great threes by Clayton Jr. Dribbled out of the paint, hit the fadeaway three with 59 seconds left. It gave Florida the 78-77 lead, and they held on from there to advance to the first Final Four since 2014. What a great story by the Florida Gators. Good effort by the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Boy, they had it. They had it. You got to close teams out. You got to close them out. They had it, but nevertheless, the Gators won 84-79. That game was on Saturday. The other game on Saturday was Duke absolutely torching Alabama. Cooper Flag. That's my bad. Hang on. That's my bad. I have a pot muted. There we go.
And they have been on top of their defensive game here tonight. You hold an Alabama team at this point to 58 points. You've done something special. Top scoring team in the country is Flag. A flurry of moves.
And then the final call.
They'll run it out. And another #1 seed advances. The Duke Blue Devils come out of the East. And John Shire is headed to his first Final Four as a head coach.
I mean, I've watched a lot of SEC basketball this year. You know, I've watched a lot of Big East basketball. I've seen Alabama play a lot. They got destroyed, absolutely destroyed by the Blue Devils yesterday on Saturday, 85-65. Yesterday, Houston and Tennessee went at it. Rick Barnes and company started off like poo-poo. They played like Rafael Devers hits, which is sucky right now. That's how they started the game. And in the end, it was it was Houston advancing 69-50.
Seventh heaven for Houston. The Cougars advance to their 7th Final Four and hoping this trip brings them their first title.
Head coach Kelvin Sampson gives all the credit to Houston's success to his players.
And that's why our kids this is very much a player-led team. They're responsible for our success. And, you know, as a coach, that's the way I prefer it. You know, this is the 11th team I've had at Houston. I think we've won 30-plus games 5 times, but this is the first time we've won 34 games. And I'm glad this team did it. This was the maturity level of our older guys has been good for our young guys.
I think earlier now, Kelvin Sampson, very excited making it to the Final Four.
You know, we have a really good team. I think being humble and staying hungry every day has really helped us. I'm more excited than I'm letting on right now. I'm really excited. I'm really happy for these kids. But it's their moment, and just happy for them.
Yeah, he's done an amazing job with the Houston Cougars, no question. L.J. Cryer finished with 17. Emmanuel Sharp, 14 of his 16 points in the second half. And without a doubt, the Houston Cougars have the nation's stingiest defense. There is no question about it. That is going to be an intriguing matchup, Angel Martinez, when they take on Cooper Flag out of Maine and the Duke Blue Devils coming up on next Saturday. That's going to be is that the first game? That's the second game out in San Antonio. So we shall see who will prevail. I had the Blue Devils winning no matter who they played, but that's going to be a great contrast in styles, dare I say. And then also yesterday, You had Michigan State, and they gave Auburn all they could handle. Here's the final call.
Izzo just told his team, don't foul. And that's it. The storybook season continues for Auburn. The Tigers are going to the Final Four. It will be all chalk on the Riverwalk.
Ooh. Thanks to CBS Sports for the call there. Bruce Pearl, head coach of the Auburn Tigers, on the program.
Auburn is a special place. It is a it's a special place. I've liked every place I've lived. Okay, I've never liked any place more than I've liked Auburn, so that's how the program is where it's at because of this staff. I did not do it.
All right. Meanwhile, Michigan State head coach Tom Izzo, another great run by his Sparties, and reflects on an incredible season.
Well, for the 30th year, I'm not sure I've ever been prouder in a team. And, there's so much coach speak and things that go on in programs all over. But these guys gave me everything they had and drained them of everything. They should take a week off. There's nothing left in them. And that's kind of the way it was in the locker room. It was a tear-jerking locker room because they knew they spilled it all, and yet we thought we started out poorly, which we've had that little bit of a problem lately, and we just couldn't recover from that 17-0 run. It wasn't through lack of effort. It wasn't through lack of anything except we played a good team, and Broom hurt us early. We made some adjustments, did a little better job on him after he hit those first, I think, 6 or 8 points. And I thought we missed some good shots in there, but maybe some of it was their defense too. So all in all, you don't get defined. Unfortunately, your last game wears with you. I'm asking these guys that if it does, make sure it does, that you do something about it in your life. And for Jaden, he's not done playing basketball either, but all in all, most unbelievable year I've had, the most connected year I've had, and I just appreciate what these guys did for myself, our program, our university, and our community.
All right, Tom Izzo. Tom Izzo, one of the best to ever do it, and came close, but went up against a powerful Jedi. Powerful Jedi as Auburn is. They are. Remember, all these teams were number one at one point in the season, right? Duke, Auburn, Florida. Tennessee was before they got knocked out yesterday, so we shall see. Angel, if we could, right above where we just played our buddy Josh Prey, it's right above that. I want to tell you, this is at the end, with about a minute and 20 seconds to go, right above Josh Prey, is what happened at the end of the BC Denver game yesterday, and I thought Denver got away with a tiny bit of a cheap shot here, and listen closely because it gets a little heated. You can understand the BC player gets thrown into the wall at the end, trying to prevent an icing call, which is why these automatic icing things exist. But nevertheless, here's check this out. Women and children stand by. Gets a little dicey.
Empty net. This will be icing if the race is won. It was. Oh, and down goes Higgins.
That's fucking bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. That's not a hit. Are you fucking kidding me?
That is Eamon Powell upset as the contact as Higgins was in full flight. One reason why they came up with automatic icings was to prevent plays like that. When the old empty net.
Yeah, let's go together. Powell really gets upset at teammate.
It was. Oh, and down goes Higgins.
That's fucking bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. That's not a hit. Are you fucking kidding me?
That is Eamon Powell upset as the contact as Higgins was in full flight. One reason why they came up with automatic icings was to prevent plays like that.
I'm stunned they didn't call a penalty there, and it could have changed something. The BC Eagles would have been on a power play for the remainder of that game, but it didn't. But that's teammates sticking up for each other, So you can cuss at the ref. See, in hockey, you can cuss at the ref to a certain degree. That's effing bullshit. Fucking bullshit. That's not a fucking hit. Come on. Unbelievable. But anyway, BC fell, and they've underachieved. Last year they should have won it, and they probably should have been in the finals again this year. Both times losing to Denver. I guess Denver's just had their number. You got to give Denver a lot of credit. That team is so well coached. They do such a great job. As my buddy Michelangelo said, and I mentioned it earlier, they're the one team that plays like an NHL team, if you haven't watched the Denver Pioneers play. After that game, Angel, if we could scroll down, or actually scroll up, let me see, because I had I thought I had the BC coach. I do have him somewhere. I know I have him. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. Yeah, it's under Tom Carroll. BC. It's a few now. It's under Tom Carroll. BC head coach Greg Brown was asked about his team's offensive struggles the final 3 games of the season. It's right under Alex Bregman. That's it.
Hey, get over here.
Processing.
Your scoring struggles were evident not just tonight, but in your last 3 games. So how do you account for that?
Yeah. We didn't. I mean, at some parts of the season, we had some depth scoring, but for the most part, scoring is streaky. That's why you have to be really sound defensively. Our top guys hardly ever get kept off the scoreboard, so it's a huge credit to Denver again for doing that. But yeah, that's why you just have to be so sound defensively, because you don't know when scoring gets tough. And like you said, the last 3 games, it's been hard to come by for us. We're a team who've been pretty good at generating chances. They haven't always been going in, but we've been fairly consistent at being able to generate chances. You just need to convert on those, or it's hard to win.
I'm not too happy with that answer. I'd also like a little more detail. What exactly did Denver do? What were they, as far as cycling, defensively? What were they doing to smother the BC offense, which has been one of the best in the country? Anyway, it's done. The Final Four, the Frozen Four is set for St. Louis. Denver versus Western Michigan. That'll be Thursday. The early game at 5 o'clock on April 10th. And then the nightcap will be Penn State versus Boston University at 8:30. Both games on ESPN2 and ESPN+. Patrick Gilroy had to cancel. We're going to try to reschedule him for tomorrow. Had something come up with his kid. Anyway, so we have that.
Morning, Bill.
Yeah, Bill, good morning. Thanks. Thank you for thanks for checking in, everybody. Thanks for checking in. Last night in the NBA, Angel, this is only a couple down right underneath. Fight between the Pistons and the Timberwolves, and this gets ugly. It spills right into the crowd. We could play this video before we go to break, and I'll come back to an NBA and NHL recap as well. Ovechkin scored again. He's 5 away from Gretzky's record.
Swing that over there, and presto, and here we go.
Holland was a really good high school player. Good fake.
Reed turned the corner and is fouled by Holland.
Man, oh, come on now.
Stevens. Big time brawl now in the front row.
Gotta stay.
It's going to take a lot to break this up.
You got to stay out of the crowd. This is not good.
This has been building on the last handful of possessions.
Holland was a really good high school player. Good fake.
Reed turned the corner and is fouled
got ugly,
by
and then 7 ejected after this one.
10-point advantage for Detroit. Ron Holland was a really good high school player.
Reed turned the corner and is fouled by Holland.
That's my estimation. They all came running over there.
So, again, just looks like a regular foul by Holland, but Naz Reid
Play is under review for an altercation.
Wagging his finger.
Really?
Holland pushing DiVincenzo. So they get tied up. This is what the officials are looking at right now. This is the angle. And again, Holland discard DiVincenzo. Again, DiVincenzo has been pushed one too many times. So a lot of pushing and shoving there. You see Stewart in the center of it. Sasser now in it. Gobert's trying to pull Sasser.
There's way too many coaches, Piston coaches in there. There's too many people in here.
After replay review, the following players will be issued technical fouls and ejected from the game. Reed, DiVincenzo, Ron Holland, Isaiah Stewart, Sasser. Also, coaches Pablo Prigioni and J.B. Bickerstaff will be ejected from the game as well.
Get out!
The play will resume.
Get out!
Play will resume with the Detroit coaching staff choosing the shooter for the free throws from the Minnesota bench.
Wake up! Yes, sir. Wake up! Yes, sir. Come and finish the order, you lazy cow. Hurry up! Yes. Fuck off!
Watch my stuff, please.
Get in there! What's wrong with you?
Nothing, Chef.
Look at me. Hey, look, you ignorant bitch. Look at my fucking eyes when I'm talking to you.
Yes, Chef.
What's wrong with you?
I'm trying to work, Chef. I'm trying to communicate.
Wake up!
Yes, Chef.
You! What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Yeah, get a grip!
Yeah.
Hey, hello, come here, donkeys. Here we go. Come here. What is that?
It's all right.
What is that? What is that? What is that? Fuck off, will you? Fuck off. Okay? You fucking pieces of shit. Raw! 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 Shit! Fucking shit!
We fired 2 salmon, 1 tagliatelle.
Fine dining! A fine fucking mess! Madam! Madam! Madam!
Yes, sir.
Take your jacket off and fuck off!
Chef, don't say that, please!
He's always very polite. He always calls him madam.
At the end, it sounds like a dinosaur just.
Phil Castaneda's Sports World in Saugus, Mass. is New England's place to buy or sell the finest in sports memorabilia. For over 35 years, Sports World has offered the finest in sports collectibles. Get on down there to Phil Castaneda's Sports World at 184 Broadway in Saugus. Call 781-233-7222 for more information. Sports World in Saugus. Be there. Also want to thank our friends for the best articles in audio. There's only one source that provides everything you need. Guaranteed 365 days a year to satisfy your sports crave. It's Total Sports Prep. The staff call me through the best articles and audio so you don't have to. Sports and non-sports kicker stories will leave you laughing all day long. To get your free trial of Total Sports Prep, contact them, info@sportsbroadcastingcoach.com. That's info@sportsbroadcastingcoach.com. Total Sports Prep, the name says it all.
I have a big fucking problem. Yes!
Anyway, we'll go to break. And when we come back, some NFL news to tell you about. Is the tush push going to get banned? Seems to be gaining some momentum. I hope not, but nevertheless, we will talk about that. Brandon Ayuk, it looks like he is not going to get dealt to the Patriots or anybody else for that matter. Looks like he might be staying on with the 49ers. And where is Aaron Rodgers going to play, Angel? Where Aaron Rodgers going to play? Don't have a home. And the Steelers need to wake the bleep up. You Steeler people out there, you got to be upset with all of this. You got to change your attitude as far as the way you play football. Because this whole bullshit about defense winning championships and all that crap, that all means nothing unless you have a quarterback that can play in this day and age. You can give me all the defensive numbers you want. Not good enough. We'll come back and discuss that and a lot more here on the Pete Sheppard Show on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey, everybody. It's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them, sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just sure. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The Pete Sheppard Show. It's fun for the whole family. If it's dysfunctional.
mentioned this earlier. I mean, did they come in out of shape? Or, I mean,
listen, with the case of Rafael Devers, they talked about it during the broadcast. We talked about it a lot. He didn't start playing until late. It was going to be late, and then he pushed it back 2 more weeks.
Okay, so he's essentially, he's out of shape. Maybe he's out of shape. I don't know about both of them, but, game shape, playing shape. But, maybe we got to trim a little bit of fat, Jim. You know what happens when you trim fat?
Well, we know they're not hitting shape, right? So they're not hitting. Okay, go ahead. We're talking about trimming fat. What happened?
Pig squeal?
No.
Where is this going?
No, I'm just saying, like, you trim fat, pig squeal. I mean, that's what you're looking for your pigs to squeal.
They need some.
Rafael Devers, get your head out of your tuchus and get focused and get serious. What a pathetic performance by him thus far, leaving all sorts of men on base. All the guy does is strike out. Now he's getting praised just for making contact. Absolutely horrible in the Red Sox 3-2 loss yesterday. Now others left men on base. They left a whole bunch of men on base yesterday. Jackson left runners on first and second, struck out Alex Bregman on a check swing to end the game. Red Sox were 0 for 12 yesterday with runners at scoring position, left 10 men on base. That was a theme in that entire series. But Rafael Devers, 0 for 4 yesterday, 2 strikeouts and a walk. Devers went 0 for 16 in the series with 12 Ks. 0 for 16. As Newman once said to Jerry Seinfeld, you useless pustule. That's what he is. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And there's no question, to me anyway, part of the reason, because he's either pouting or he's not comfortable being a DH because he wants to play in the field. Well, get over it. You ain't going to play in the field unless it's absolutely necessary. You should have been taking swings and figuring this out during spring training down the street right over there. You should have been out there all of March taking at bats. Instead, you for whatever reason, you weren't ready to face live pitching, and this is the result. Your horseshit attitude and swinging 3 miles an hour down. You swing for the fences every single time. Your head isn't anywhere near the ball. You stink right now. Can he come out of it? I don't know. But somebody either better Vulcan mind meld with this guy or Jedi mind trick him or something. And as Lou Merlone said at the end of the broadcast yesterday, last time, grab another bat. Whatever it is you're doing, Rafael, ain't working. Grab somebody else's bat. That's anything to change it up, right? Jeez. Yep. I don't know. Whatever you're eating, whatever it is, do the opposite. Do the George Costanza. Do the opposite. Hi, my name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents. Hi, I'm Becky. Hello. Oh, man. Just absolutely ridiculous. We'll get to the Major League Baseball rundown in a second. Here in the NBA yesterday, Cleveland came back and beat the Clippers 127 to 122. By the way, we're going to reschedule Patrick Gilroy, I think, tomorrow at 8:30. New York Knicks over Portland, 110-93. Yahoo. Atlanta over Milwaukee, 145 to 124. Minnesota got by Detroit, it was said with the brawl, 123 to 104. New Orleans playing better basketball lately, beat Charlotte 98-94. Golden State over San Antonio, 148 to 106 in that one. Toronto beat your 76ers, Angel, 127 to 109. Houston over Phoenix. In this one, 148 to 109, and Kevin Durant got hurt. Also, this happened in the game with Durant, along with Dylan Brooks.
I wasn't jockeying for a part. I didn't know you were looking at writing a movie too. But as Dylan Brooks and Kevin Durant get tangled up, and Nick Richards coming in to provide some assistance. And
no, Dylan Brooks is wrong for that.
Dylan just got himself an early technical, and
he should be kicked.
Got to be careful as he
should be kicked. No, that was just silly. I can understand him being physical with KD and trying to send a message. That's fine. But that was a simple drive. They're up a ton, 17, and it's all about Dylan. That's just all about him right there. He needs some more attention. Now watch this. Okay, now look, they're locked. Look, KD's just trying to get loose. And look, he's laughing and joking. See, so he's actually trying to get under the skin of them, right? And so, and then he curses the official out, and so bye-bye.
Well, I guess it kind of falls in line with what we've seen over the last couple of seasons.
Well, that's the Arizona Family Home Network, Angel, if you believe that. That's where the Phoenix Suns were on yesterday, Katie. That was in the second quarter. Houston was up by 17 at the time, 55-38. And then in the third quarter, KD limps off the floor.
Rockets will play the Lakers tomorrow night in LA. First time with Luka and LeBron. Durant, and Durant is down, and he's holding his left ankle.
Yeah, drove on Jabari, and when he went to point, looked like he just landed oddly.
Okay, he's all right. Obviously favoring
him. No.
Yeah, he is not moving well at all. Oh.
That left ankle stepping,
just rolled it, stepped on Jabari's left foot, rolled his left ankle, is obviously in discomfort, needs some help on his way back to the Suns bench.
Boy, that team has just been, the Celtics rolled them last week by 30. They got crushed again by like 39 last night. And that team with, Booker and KD and others, they should be a hell of a lot better. That is an underachieving team. There is no question about it. Thanks for checking us out here again across the video platform. We're going to get to some NFL news in a second. Following me on Twitter X at PShep326. Also on the Facebook pages, CSN Florida, YouTube, Rumble, Kick, LinkedIn, and call or text the show 727-858-6650, 727-858-6650. That is the number to call. Late last week, and the story now is, remember, the NFL owners are meeting in West Palm Beach today up on the East Coast. And the Green Bay Packers, this came out last night, actually, by Kalen Kaler at ESPN.com. Green Bay Packers' proposal to ban the push sneak, popularly known as the tush push, has support within the competition committee. That's a source with direct knowledge telling ESPN. Another source with direct knowledge of the competition committee said the proposal would be, quote, hotly contested, unquote, among the coaches, GMs, and owners as they gather to meet the meetings this week. Meanwhile, Damian Woody and Harry Douglas talked about it on Get Up Friday.
Packers have made an official proposal to ban the tush push.
Banned from the store.
Reaction.
Hate it again. I'm just, my whole thing is the Philadelphia Eagles have put so much time into running this play, and they're just so successful. So now all the other teams want to disavow the play because you're not investing the time, and the Philadelphia Eagles are so good at it. I'm just not in favor of it. Is it a good-looking play as far as the theatrics and the entertainment value? No. But at the end of the day, stop the play. Stop the play.
Where are you on this?
I feel the same way about it. We're going to penalize the Philadelphia Eagles because they can do something better than someone else. And here's the thing for the Green Bay Packers, because they brought it to the table. Well, you look at your defensive line, you have 4 guys that you're drafted that are first-round draft picks. Tell those guys to stop the tush push.
Yeah. Here's well, go ahead, Sheppard.
Well, what I was going to say is if there were injury data that showed that this is a dangerous play where there were more of an injury risk, then I think it's worth taking a look at. There is no injury data to prove that currently, unless I haven't seen it.
No,
if somebody has it, then let me know.
I keep being told there isn't.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Forgetting that the play is unsightly. For what remains the overwhelming majority of the history of the National Football League's history, it's not just the tush push. An offensive player pushing a ball carrier, regardless of who that was, has always been against the rules. It was always, the reason that was changed is because it creates a ridiculous-looking play. We see it all the time. It doesn't just happen on the tush push.
Correct.
And the reason they change it is because it's difficult to officiate, difficult to adjudicate, to determine if a guy pushed another guy or not. That doesn't strike me as a good reason to change a rule. To me, it's not just about the tush push. There's something about all the other offensive guys pushing the ball carrier forward that just feels against the spirit of what the game was intended to be. And again, it was against the rules for, if the league has been around 105 years, I think it was against the rules for like 90 of them. So I think this wouldn't actually be a rule change. It was a rule change to allow the tush push. So, Shefty, would you stand in front of me, please? Because I'm going to disagree with you again.
He's going to touch his tush?
Mad at me, but I disagree. This is the second consecutive round.
You know what? You want to run a tush push versus them two?
That would be something. Anyway.
Your record label is taking off.
So the league office staff presented the rules proposal during the football operations meeting yesterday afternoon. Two sources in the meeting described the back and forth as, quote, heated regarding the proposal to prohibit an offensive player from pushing a teammate who was lined up directly behind the snapper and receives the snap immediately at the snap. So during Sunday's afternoon session, Eagles GM Howie Roseman, assistant GM John Ferrari, and two head coaches on the competition committee, Sean McVay of the Rams and Sean McDermott of the Buffalo Bills, gathered in the hallway outside of the ballroom to have a private and animated side conversation about the Packers' proposal. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur had not spoken publicly about the team's proposal and declined to comment on it when approached by ESPN on Sunday afternoon. Packers GM Brian Gutekunst also declined a question from ESPN on Sunday. Quote, I'll leave that for someone else to talk about. What a cowardly answer from the guy who's, this is such bullshit, Angel. And, as you're the huge Eagle fan on the show, you and Trevor Harris, but this whole thing is absolutely ridiculous. And thank God Damian Woody and Harry Douglas, two great ex-players, are on the same page. This is all about jealousy from other people. I saw this happen with the Patriots for years about this rule or that rule because they knew the rules and other people didn't. And they did everything possible to try to screw the Patriots back in the day with it. And they always, most of the time, backfired on them. And this is the same thing. This is bullshit, Do better than trying to. If you can't stop it, too bad. This doesn't just happen with the Eagles. There's other teams in college and the pros that do use this. Some teams just do it better than others, and the Eagles are the best at it. And if you can't stop them, tough. Do better. Coach better.
Yep. Nope. Everybody can't. They can't do it, so therefore it's easier to complain, whine, say it's not fair. But then if they turn around and somehow they're mastered, then we're like, can we bring it back? We find out that we can actually do it. So it's such loaded garbage. There's other things the NFL to worry about. Like still, we can't figure out why we can't finish them in overtime. I don't know, by kickers instead of ending in a tie. Of all things in football should never end in a tie.
Yeah, but it is kind of interesting, though. I don't mind the ties in football. It doesn't happen all that often. But I do think that they don't need to have a different rule in the regular season than they do in the postseason. Now, I know hockey does that because hockey is just sudden death overtime no matter what. And I can't stand shootouts, by the way. I can't stand the shootout, but nevertheless. But in football, you got to make the same rule for the regular season, and the postseason.
By the way, Donovan McNabb called me yesterday, and he still couldn't believe there's a tie in football.
I remember Cam Newton said the year he was with the Patriots, and I swear to God, you can look it up. He didn't know what the Mike linebacker meant, which is the middle linebacker when quarterbacks call out, 52 is the Mike, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know how serious he was. But nevertheless, it's crazy to me. Got another cut here. Talk about moving on to Aaron Rodgers. Again, Patrick Gilroy will not join us today. I believe he's going to be able to join us tomorrow, I think, at 8:30. Jay Flanley will join us tomorrow as well. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, the latest yesterday, are not getting off the quarterback carousel anytime soon. It'll be public courtship of quarterback Aaron Rodgers, who still has not made a decision yet. Mike Tomlin said Sunday that the team is examining its options to add to the quarterback room. Here is Stephen A. the other day addressing Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers.
This is actually more depressing than the Knicks. Look.
No, it's not.
This is what we talk about. We pointed out how the Pittsburgh Steelers have not won a playoff game since 2016. How, they haven't been able to score more than 17 points over the last 5 games of the season, including the playoffs. It's a lot to lament about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let me make Pittsburgh Nation feel even worse. If you don't get Aaron Rodgers, here are your options, it appears. Joe Flacco, Carson Wentz, Drew Lock, Case Keenum, Desmond Ridder, or Terry Bridgewater. Damn.
Terry? How about Teddy?
Who is yours, Doggy?
Yeah, they have no choice. They have to bring him in. Now, the question I would say to Damian, I do think he's a little better than Wilson. If my season was determined right at this present time, who I think is better, who would I have if my life was on the line, I probably would take Rodgers. So you could make the case they're marginally better. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. But again, it goes back to it doesn't the long-term solution for the Pittsburgh
It's not
Steelers.
Rodgers.
It's not Rodgers, and it's just going to continue to put the Pittsburgh Steelers where they've been the past 5 or 6 years, in the middle, where there's no.
You know what's blowing me away?
What's up?
You know what's blowing me away, Woody? I'm here thinking that, you know what, you know, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, you can let them walk away because you know you got Rodgers. You know you got Rodgers. If there's trepidation about Rodgers, okay, how do you let Justin Fields get away? Considering his youth and the fact that he won games for you when he started for you last year. How do you let that happen?
Yeah, and that's what I said last week. Because it certainly seems like they are not crazy about Aaron Rodgers, or they would have had a deal done by now, unless he.
Your record label is taking.
Unless Rodgers has somehow has another level of flakiness to him. He's already flaky, but unless he's like so out there that they were just blown away by his flakiness and just don't want to commit to this guy. Yet they may be forced to, you know, unless. I don't know. Mason Rudolph is the only other option right now, besides you heard Stephen A. go down the free agency list. Mason Rudolph said, we're optimistic about the room that we're constructing. Obviously, we're excited about having Mason Rudolph back. That is from Mike Tomlin. We're still evaluating the acquisition of a guy at the position, whether it's free agency and or the draft, and we're doing our due diligence, communicating with some free agents, also preparing for the draft. Tomlin did say that, his first public comments. Says, but certainly we're going to continue to explore all our options in terms of rounding that room. He was coy on the specifics of the Steelers' pursuit of the 41-year-old Rodgers, who visited the team facility for nearly 6 hours on March 21st, but came away with nothing. He said, Tomlin said again, quote, it's been reported that he spent a day with us and it was really a good day. Specifically, he and I obviously have known of each other for some time. And so it was really good to spend some time together, man, and to get to know each other more intimately. But it is free agency. It is a process. I have nothing of any more significance to add other than that. And then Tomlin said there's no internal Steelers deadline to resolve the situation with Rodgers. Quote, not to my knowledge, he said. I don't know that we've approached it from a deadline perspective. Certainly, as I mentioned, you'd like to have a settled circumstance, but deadlines don't often bring that to a head. He also added that he didn't ask Rodgers about his timeline during the visit. Quote, I really wanted to spend more of our time getting to know him better and things that be values as a player and a man, and what he might be looking for with his next step. Asked about a potential plan B if Rodgers decides to, go into the zone of darkness. Quote, I don't know if we are identifying anything as plan A, B, or C. We're just simply looking at the field available people, whether it's free agency or the draft, and making decisions and gathering information accordingly. Tomlin said he hadn't, quote, thought a lot, unquote, about settling the Rodgers situation before the draft, and that the unresolved quarterback position hasn't hindered the team's free agency plans. They traded for wide receiver DK Metcalf on the eve of the negotiating period. They signed free agent cornerback Darius Slade Jr., running back Kenneth Gainwell, amongst others. Tomlin said, quote, in the spring, it's about teaching and learning and getting familiar with players and making sure they're getting familiar with some of the things that we value. It's not an evaluation time of the year for us. It's certainly not a time of the year where we're focused on readying ourselves for the game action. Certainly training camp would kind of be a line of demarcation in terms of that discussion. The spring's about teaching and learning. That was when he was downplaying the significance of having a complete quarterback position in the spring. You got to be kidding me, Mike. Come on, man. Come on. Don't work that way. You know that. You know better. And the Steelers better get out of this they haven't won a playoff game in a lot. Their defense has been okay to above average. It's not good enough. It's not the steel curtain of the 70s, and it's not the team that won the Super Bowl many years ago. It's just the Steelers are like in they're in purgatory.
Yep.
They got to change their attitude about how to win football games because it ain't working. It ain't working. Regular season, you're okay. I mean, okay, you don't have a losing record. So what? You can't get to playoffs, and then when you get to playoffs, you can't win because you can't score. Got to change to bad attitude. Bad attitude. All right, let's take another quick break here, Angel. Then we come back. Another quick segment here, and then we'll wrap it up for the day. I'll get to some other NHL sound and so a couple more videos, Angel, and then we'll call it a day because I know you're not feeling the best today. You're plowing through it, literally plowing through it. And so, all right, final segment of Pete Sheppard Show coming up next here on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. I know you won't. Because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen.
Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You want the best in sports and entertainment?
You got it. Now back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
Oh, Chris Serrano moves in, swung it back to Marsico, fires, scores! It's over! Penn State to the Frozen Four for the first time ever!
You never forget your first time, Angel. In so many ways, but congratulations to the Penn State hockey team beating the UConn Huskies 3-2 in overtime, and they are moving on to their first Final Four. Only Big Ten team to get in. The Hockey East, despite having 6, they only got 1 in. They came close with a bunch of others, but no cigar. Final Four, the Frozen Four, is set for April 10th out in St. Louis. Denver versus Western Michigan. But those Broncos, the Pioneers of Denver, just absolutely on a roll. And Penn State versus Boston University. Should be 2 great games at 5 o'clock and 8:30 p.m. respectively on Thursday, April 10th. So there you have it. Welcome back to the Pete Sheppard Show here on the Coastal Sports Network. Speaking of hockey, we're going to do a little NHL rundown and maybe one more video of one of Mike Vrabel, and then we're going to call it a day, Angel. I know we're retooling. We're still revamping here. Anything else coming up today that we can plug? If not, we'll just keep doing what we do.
At the moment, no.
Okay. So Duncan Dad, not today. Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. In the NHL last night, Utah over Chicago by a score of 5-2. Montreal doubled up Florida.
He had to go off the heel of his stick. Hudson again in front, and they score this time. Suzuki gives Montreal a 3-2 lead.
Couple big saves. There's the face-off loss. Look at Hudson. Way over on the far side. There's the first shot, the first save. Another attempt goes wide, and then here comes again a cross-ice pass. It gets it right through the seam, down low, and somehow this gets by Bobrovsky.
Yeah, it did. Montreal beats Florida 4-2. Not an easy task. Winnipeg over Vancouver 3-1. Pittsburgh, a shutout win, 1-0 in overtime over Ottawa. Guess who got the goal? Yep.
Raquel with 50 seconds on the power play. Over to Carlson. Senators in position. Crosby, one-timer, scores! Sudden death for Sydney, and the Penguins take it in overtime with a 2-point party on 5th Avenue. 1-0 over the Senators.
Brother.
A 2-point party on 5th Avenue. I've been to 5th Avenue over there. It's not like New York 5th Avenue, but nevertheless, 5th Avenue is 5th Avenue. Naples has a 5th Avenue.
Trying to think of
some nice restaurants. Some of them are very overrated, but nevertheless, some nice restaurants. You ever been to 5th Avenue in Pittsburgh?
Yeah. And I will say Pittsburgh has gotten better throughout the years. Before, not so much, but yeah, it's all right.
I've been out there. You know what's a great sports bar out there is Jerome Bettis' a sports bar. It's got this very round. It's really cool. It's right across from Heinz Field over the bridge. It's pretty. It's a cool place. I must say. Had a really been there a couple of times. And PFC Park, where the Pirates play, is just one of my favorite stadiums on the planet. Just
You got a beautiful backdrop of the city.
Yep. Carolina beat the Islanders by a score of 6-4. Seth Jarvis with the go-ahead in the second.
Aho now to Jarvis. Jarvis, you'll get the Giants scores! Talk to me, Shorty. Another one for Seth Jarvis. His 5th shorthanded goal of the year. And the Canes go up 4-3.
Well, the maestro of the penalty-killing orchestra is Jacob Slavin. And he conducted this. Aho, his magic shorthanded with Jarvis. And does he ever wire this? Second goal of the period, one from Aho, and now Jarvis to beat Hogberg.
I remember when I used to get excited about my Boston Bruins the last few years, a lot of years. They stay. How about ABC? You talk about not being able to call an audible, Angel. How about Saturday night? They got a show on ABC, national TV, the Bruins at Detroit. Detroit sort of barely, maybe a half inch of a hangnail on a postseason spot. The Bruins are out of it. They're 0-8-1, their last 10, or 0-8, 0-9-1. I mean, just absolutely awful. They totally packed it in. They lose 2-1. You can't. They were promoting that game for like 10 days. You can't audible out of that game and get to a better one than that. Jesus, that was terrible. Toronto, they are fighting for a playoff spot as well, and they got a much needed win last night.
Playing it to Camp. Back to Benoit. David Camp's on it. Taken down. Scores! Steven Lorentz with a deflection. And it's a 4th-line goal.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better 4th-line shift. They won the battle 2 or 3 times in the corner and kept it alive. The defense, the pairing of Oliver Ekman-Larsson and Benoit did a nice job of buying themselves some time. Now you get a shot that's from a tough angle. What a deflection there by Steven Lorentz. Gets behind Gudas again. Gudas tries to slap at it. He misses it in the air. Look at that reaction.
Toronto wins 3-2. The LA Kings clobber San Jose 8-1. Bruins lost to San Jose last week too. They're the worst team in the league. Buffalo beat Washington 8-5. But in the third period, Alex Ovechkin.
Van Riemsdyk to the front looking for an Ovechkin deflection that went high. Alex is still there. Score!
Well, that made it 6-4 Buffalo. And then the Sabres piling on at the end.
Beauvillier was hit way after the puck was dumped in on that play.
Krebs feeds. Benson had it blocked. Chychrun came running defensively for Washington. Snapshot here from deep. Samuelson picks the top corner. Was that tipped?
It might have been tipped.
Yes.
There was a guy cruising right around that net, number 9, Quinn.
I think it was Alex Tuch that got the goal. Buffalo wins, by the way, by a score of 8-5. So there is your NHL rundown. As we said, Final Four is set. Florida beat Texas Tech 84-79. They were down by 9 with 2.5 minutes to go, and just an unbelievable Walter Clayton Jr. just took over that game. Duke over Alabama, crushing them 85-65. Houston over Tennessee 69-50. I knew I would get my heart broken picking the Vols. I will never do it again. I don't care if they go 78-0. I'm not picking them ever again to go to the Final Four. Ever, ever, ever. Always close, but no cigar. Sometimes not so close. Sometimes knocked out in the first or second round. But this time, as they have the last couple of years, I think 2 out of the last 3 years, have gotten to the Elite Eight and then broken all the Vols' hearts. So 69-50, it was Houston over Tennessee. And Tennessee could not overcome just horrible, pathetic shooting in the first 10 minutes of that game. It was terrible. Auburn over Michigan State yesterday, 70-64. There you have it. Shohei Ohtani, Angel, a 50-50 card sold for a record $1.067 million. And O.J. Simpson Bible, Angel, sold for $80,000.
What the heck? Okay.
And finally, let's see, final thing for the show today, Angel. Let's go to, if we could go to the video once again and scroll down. Should be the first one under Mike Reese. Mike Vrabel arriving in West Palm. Jokes about coming all the way to Florida for the media interviews. And Karen Garrigan from Mass Live Sports, my good friend, used to work at the Boston Herald. now works like with Sean McAdam over at Mass Live, does a great job. So here's Mike Vrabel arriving.
What up, Mikey? Did you say get up or what?
I said get up.
Get up. Oh, no. I didn't hear that.
We had to come all the way to Florida to see you guys. My God. Happy to be more in Foxborough. Hi, Karen. Let's go. First pitch. 30 minutes.
First pitch.
The plan is to continue to evaluate our roster and see, who's there that we can continue to try to work there. We're going to bring the players in on April 7th. I think that Peyton's certainly going to get an opportunity there as the roster is currently constructed, and Verdarian's going to be coming back, and he had a little procedure. So I think the draft's going to be a good option for us. There's a lot of guys in the draft that we like at a lot of different levels, and I'm confident between now and the time that the season starts that we're going to have something that we believe in and a plan that's going to help us.
All right, there is Mike Vrabel, head coach, and this guy Tony on Twitter says, strange relationship between Vrabel and Karen right away from the introductory press conference. No, because she comes. In fact, I'm going to try to get Karen on the show tomorrow. She's a wonderful person. She's an excellent reporter. Worked for many years at the Boston Herald, and now she's working over at Mass Live, and she's down there, and she's always she's a sweetheart, and she does a great job. So I'm going to try to get out. I'm going to reach out to her, see if she has time to join us for a few minutes tomorrow, either video or by phone. But I think that's going to do it, Angel, for today.
Right.
Tomorrow we'll have more guests. We're definitely going to have. We're going to try to reach out to Karen Green, as I said. We're definitely going to have Jay Flannelly on, and I believe we're going to have Patrick Gilroy on as well. Great song, horrible video from Dexter's Midnight Runners. What's up with you for the rest of the day, Angel?
I am out and about, traveling everywhere, trying to get stuff done. So it's just another busy day here behind the network scene. So it's just, I'm ready for a nap.
All right, you ready for a nap? Yes, I got more baseball. Let's see if Rafael Devers plays today. I say he has at least 3 more strikeouts today if he does. At least 3, maybe 4, not 3, not 4, 5. If the game goes extra innings, he's going to strike out 5 times. Useless pustule right now. Anyway, thanks everybody for checking us out. Thanks to all the guests that didn't come on today, and we'll have them on tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Monday, everybody. I'm Pete, back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Come on, Eileen.